Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Salil Sabnis. I'm the head, that is the HOD, head of the department for Masters of Business Administration, MBA, which is at RC Patel Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, that is RC Piper, at Shirley. I have been into the education sector for the past 15-16 years now, and I had been a constant connect with the pharmaceutical, biopharmaceutical, life sciences, and healthcare industry for the past 27 and a half years. Now, looking at the education system right now and the education and academic sector at this particular moment in time, the sector which was there around 15 years back or 20 years back and now, there has been a lot of change. The change has been in terms of the technology, the kind of the pedagogy which is being taught by the professors to the lecturers and students, the education and information system which the students gain from the cyberspace, that is the internet, or from the printed material, or from the mobile or handheld devices, and from other sources like forums, seminars, industry connect workshops, and certain the electronic media and other places currently which offer online courses. So these are the contemporary changes today in terms of education. But the parting of the information by an expert or the person who's an expert in that particular subject or who knows how to inspire people will never change. This is what I feel is the current scenario of education right now. Now, being an HOD at MBA department at RC Piper, that is RC Patel Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, the major objective of the students who are taking admission at this particular stage was specifically to let the students impart academic excellence, that is number one. Secondly, the discipline which is known the India-wide for the IC Piper, that is number two. Number three, the latest in terms of the education which we provide for the people who are taking admission at RC Piper. And fourth, the after academic session placements which are important for the people to take part into RC Patel Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. Yes, when we talk about extracurricular activities or when we talk about extra academic activities, what we do is we want people to expose themselves of all the different aspects of a human personality, which they can use it or which they can apply personally as well as professionally. Now, the first activity which we do is to gain understanding, remembrance, application, analysis, and creation of whatever that they have learned in their academic excellence programs. That is number one. Secondly, now we have got certain activities, workshops, seminars, PowerPoint presentations, which will help the students to explain and deliberate on whatever they have learned academically. Like, for example, we do a lot of workshop activities wherein there are expert trainers who come to the campus and they will impart training to the students. That is number one. Secondly, to understand deeply the functional knowledge of whatever that they have been taught, specifically in terms of MBA. We have got finance, we have got marketing, we have got strategy, and then there are certain pharmaceutical related marketing and management. That also we call experts and let the people know what exactly are the functional nuances which they will be able to use it in their professional career. Fourthly, what we do is we organize a lot of activities like quiz activities, we've got debating competitions, intercollegiate speech competition, and there are a lot of display and manifestation of inborn talents of the students, which will improve their confidence, and then it will reduce their stage fear, and they will have the contact towards the latest vocabulary, which they'll have to test themselves and prove themselves time to time on the stage. It may be right from the 10 people in front of which they will kind of express themselves, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, and 1,000 people. So therefore, once they express themselves with a proper body language, they'll be able to express anything in terms of their professional career as well as in their personal career. So they will develop 360 degrees as a professional and as a personality to give back to the society and develop themselves. The institute always emphasizes on the latest trends in education, that is number one. Secondly, we have a lot of industry connects and networking, and there are practical applications of the functions that we teach in MBA, so that whatever that the industry needs, we inculcate it into the students as well as incorporate into the academic courseware that we deliver it to the students. These are the two things that we do. Thirdly, what we do, since in-house, there are a lot of assignments that we take as faculties and as a head, which are in terms of consultancy projects in every function in business, which includes your marketing, brand management, financial restructuring, accounting, your strategy, and in terms of operations, as well as the people who would like to get into the specifics into logistics and supply chain, which is very, very important in terms of the overall activities which are required to improve the curriculum that we teach to MBA students. Now, there are two different aspects of curriculum and pedagogy that we observe into RC Piper, that is RC Patel Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, and that too in the branch of MBA. So, one thing is we invite experts from the industry to impart the experiences that they have learned through all their professional careers to the students as well as to the faculty. This is number one. These are called as your seminars and student development program. This is number one. Secondly, there are faculties who would like to upgrade themselves to the latest changes in the industry. In terms of the functions, as I mentioned before, there are all the functions which are there in management, which includes your marketing, sales, business development, marketing research, operations, strategy, accounting and finance, financial restructuring, mergers and acquisitions, as well as for logistics and supply chain management, and certain pharmaceutical related subjects like pharmacovigilance, clinical data management, and then clinical trials management, as well as specifically biological marketing, which is now the in thing, and India is also progressing in terms of researching and innovating and commercialization of new molecules in this industry. And along with that, for the FMCG industry, for the wellness industry, and for the other engineering, as well as for the oil and natural gas or banking financial sector, or for human resources or operation sector. So all these sectors taken together, there are changes which are happening depending on the disruption, the dynamics, which will include your political, economical, social, technological, and all these changes which are happening in the world. So one is industry dialogue, wherein top industry stalwarts come to the college and we discuss, or our people go to the industry and discuss in the various industrialized forums. Thirdly, what we do is there are certain changes in academia also. So only industry orientation or only academic orientation will not let the student being successful in the professional place. So both things should be taken together. So academic excellence is definitely our motto, and secondly, make the academic learning which is applicable. So all these ways which I have said earlier, industry connect, the workshops which the industry connect or the industry people or stalwarts come to the campus and they impart to the students. Thirdly, whatever is applicable in the industry, how to apply it to the professional life, that is specifically using tools which industry leader usually uses, and then some part of it that they can share it with us so that we can tweak in for that particular function and then tell the students to perform the same and prepare a project work for that particular aspect and then present it to the team of experts which will evaluate that. This is third. Fourth is inserting students into live functions into the industry, giving them projects which are live, customer facing, and which are relevant to the current problems of the society and the industry. So these are the four things which we use so that students are much more adept in terms of accepting the newest situations, how to react towards the dynamic situations, and how do we kind of let them decide upon a particular function or upon a particular situation using the tools which we teach them. R.C. Patel Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research is known far and wide for its pharmaceutical education since 31 years. So I would say a strong foundation creates strong breeds. So this is what is our major tagline, and this is what we always pursue for. For MBA, we have taken the same legacy around, and we want to see that MBA also develops in the same lines. And we are confident that with the kind of experience that we have and the kind of industry exposure that we have, we'll be able to take this and give it to the students so that students will be able to impart the same and internalize the same, and then they will be able to showcase the same to the industry. This is number two. If we talk about the research strength of RC Piper, so every year, there are more than 1,100 students who are placed into various institutes, in top institutes in India as well as abroad, in various functions, academic functions as well as into industrial functions. Secondly, we've got more than 9 crores as grants till date. Then there are certain patents which are the process patents as well as product patents as well as certain academic style patents also which we have got for the institute. And if you look at the specific courses that we have launched, like for example, we've got M-Pharm with 12 different specialities, we've got B-Pharm, then we've got M-Tech, which is there in cosmetic technology, which is only there in only 2 colleges in Maharashtra. Then recently, right now, this is the second year starting of MBA Pharmaceutical Management, and we would be starting MBA Finance and MBA Marketing shortly within a month of time. So these are the overall strengths of RC Piper. The other thing about RC Piper is it is always known that an education, when taken away from the hustle and bustle of the city where the person is not able to concentrate much and grow himself. Therefore, looking at this philosophy, if you take an education away, say some kilometers away from the hustle and bustle of the city, or from the concrete area, or from the working area where there is a lot of blooming of education, the person can have a lot of insight. Person could be meditative and would be understanding certain things which he may not understand when he is working 24 hours there in the city. And fourthly, the serene atmosphere, the pollution-free air, and the kind of high-quality education will make the person much more stronger in terms of the new things he learns, and personally also he will be much more healthy and armored with the latest style of education which he will be able to go back and apply to the professional world. This is what I feel are the major strength of RC pipeline. So, if you talk about the higher education today in India, there is always a false connotation into the student's mind or the parent's mind that higher education is always qualitative abroad, that is out of India. Whereas I am of the opinion, or the people are of the opinion now, is that the education is equally A graded or even outstanding in all the Indian institutes, including RC Piper. That is number one. Secondly, the government in India, in terms of education sector, is taking up certain steps to improve interdisciplinary education system now, according to the new education policy, due to which most of the people will be able to do a couple of degrees together, will be able to do number of specializations together, which are diverse in terms of their own field and branches, and will be able to take up courses and improve themselves personally as well as professionally. Number three. Number four, now Government of India is emphasizing on autonomy of the institutes and also about encouraging decentralization of universities, due to which the kind of burden which is lessened down to the central universities, state universities, which is directly proportional to the quality of the education. Therefore, if the institutes are decentralized and they are autonomy and they are deemed, the quality of education will improve, because then the regulation will be strong, education excellence will be strong, the people will be able to learn more, and people will be able to invest more. Now, if we talk about the overall institute capability and the overall education system and challenges, the number one challenge in India is de novo research. There is a research which needs to be carried out new, and this new research is very less in India. We depend on countries like USA, Europe, or China, or in that case Southeast Asia like Hong Kong or Taiwan, wherein these are the places, or even Korea, these are the places where de novo research happens, and they invent and create new things which we copy and then we take it forward. But now, in the next 5 years, 10 years down the line, India would be in the race of getting into new and new research, new and new creativity, and they would be filing for new product as well as process patents, which will be taking the industry forward and the learning of that particular system forward. So these are the challenges, and then these are the solutions right now. My message to the current youth is, believe in yourself. Every system of education has a scope, and every product or every offering of whatever it may be has a scope and has a market. So it shouldn't be that you stick to only software industry because you're going to get maximum pay package, and do not negate arts as a faculty of science because it will not pay you better. No, because there are markets available for both, and then you can actually progress your career if you get a right path. Secondly, the people always think that doing MBA will be a paycheck for you. Yes, it will be a paycheck for you, but doing an MBA will also make you humble, will also make you a professional, will also create a good 360-degree carved out professional who would be able to respond to the society's needs better, rather than creating a better organization or a better capitalist structure. No. And there are innate structures in the villages of India. Today, if you see, the economy is towards villages, rural areas, rather than urban areas. So people from villages are much more adept in terms of creating frugal innovation, जिसे हम जुगाड़ बोलते हैं, frugal innovation, and people would like to adapt this frugal innovation to a new innovation and new research which will be applied to academic pursuits as well as for professional pursuits. And fourthly, India is known as a spiritual destination. We should believe in our roots rather than the McDonald's culture of the West. We should be proud of our bajri ki bhakri than eating buns from the West. We should also believe into meditation and self-knowledge rather than external knowledge and the clothes that we wear. And fifth, which I feel, is that the students should always be humble. Humility is one important factor and one important foundation of why India is known for 10,000 years or 20,000 years, and that's how Nalanda has been known for so many years. So I would urge students to understand Indian philosophy, to be humble, to be rooted spiritually, and to develop 360 degrees as a professional to contribute towards the society. Thank you so much for your patient listening, and I hope you would have gained at least 0.01% of what I said. And I would be happy if even one person is inspired about RC Piper, about my talk about the education, the systems of education, industry connect, and the ethos that I am talking about. I would be more than happy to receive comments from you all. And welcome to RC Piper Shirpur. We welcome you. Thank you so much.